Good morning. My name is Timothy Trespass, and I am aboard a sailing ship that I call Salvation. It's, excuse me, 7:05 on a Saturday morning, January 6th, um, and it is supposedly 13 degrees out there in the hold under the ship where the thermometer thingy is. Now the heat from in here does go out there, but this morning we woke up and it was 36 in here. The fire had gone out. We slept, you know. So last night, all this running around, all this jumping around, all this work in the cold, and really didn't come to much. We woke up this morning and something I've never seen before, which is out the window of the boat. There's the wall we have to climb up. As you can see, my rope only goes down to there, and only the first 2 knots are useful for getting on and off. The other ones are just sort of, they hang in the sea, and the sea never went down much. In the summer it went down to about the top of that wooden slat, and then it went down a little more, and in the winter the first major low tide was the first foot of that pole. But as you can see, at least 4 feet, 4.5 feet, maybe more, 5 feet, no, 4 feet of that pole is now sticking out of the water. And you can see all the way underneath the pier to the rocks that have, this used to be a solid structure, I think, and over the years it's been, the stuff has come out, I don't know. So far, so good. When I woke up this morning, alright, there's 2 bow lines up there. There's 1 midships line and 2 lines to pull the boat to the wall to get off. There's the midships line. And there is a aft line or a tail line up there somewhere. The tail line is now at that 2-inch piece of rope there, weighs a pound a foot or more. Now last night I spent all this time trying to tie this thing to the shore, and you can see there's a big piece of wood there, and it comes off the piling and it goes up to the top. The rope to the top is too high because the piece of wood's not supposed to be out of the water. It's supposed to sort of float up and down. Now the problem I found was that I've got it tied to the port side, starboard, I don't know, to the left side of the boat. I can never remember that. You're supposed to have it tied to the right side of the boat so that it pulls the boat out to that pole. But the problem is that I have this nice outboard motor that is out of the water. You gotta pull it up out of the water or it freezes, and the line catches on the prop, and you don't want anything catching on your motor or your prop because it'll rip it off. It'll, you know, this is a 10,000, 15,000 pound boat. I don't know how much it weighs. They didn't tell me. The keel has 2,000 pounds of lead, but the fiberglass weighs something. All my stuff weighs something, and so do I. Anyway, when I woke up this morning, the steel cable that I had tied to the boat as a backup bow line, because if the bow lines broke, we would hit, well, now we'd hit that pole, but we'd hit the other boat, and, you know, that's not good either. Don't want to hit anything. As you can see, I'm like maybe 4 or 5 inches from the wall in the back. What happens is the current and the tide go in one direction. The wind is coming out of the, I don't know what that is, the west, the southwest or something, I don't know. The wind is coming from behind me right now, from the front of the ship, and it's pushing us back against the wall because we're tied to the wall. If we weren't tied, we would just keep bumping everything and floating around. And so the wind, these blue things up here act as sails, and if the boat wasn't so heavy, it would be up in the sky sometimes, but the boat's too heavy for the sails to lift it off the... Anyway, there's the ugly plastic thing that I struggled for an hour to get on in the freezing cold. Yes, I could have used a blowtorch to heat it up and make it soft. However, the wind was too high and it wouldn't allow any open flame. So I couldn't put my heater on the deck while I cut up all the wood. I managed to cut up the wood that was on the deck, that big pile. I don't know if you saw it. It was maybe 8-10 pieces. And if you can see it, this is how much wood it is. It goes not all the way back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, about 13, 14 rows of wood. And since I don't have a damper yet in the stove, I ordered it the other day and it should arrive in a few days. Then I gotta take the stovepipe off somehow and take it out and drill a hole through it and put the damper in there so you can control the flue so that the burn rate isn't quite so high. Turning our rocket stove into a more manageable, because when you put the wood in and you burn it, it burns really fast and it gets really hot, and then you wake up cold, or you know, so, and you end up burning through a lot more wood than you would. So, you know, this is completely unexpected. I mean, I asked everybody about the conditions here in the winter and how did they heat their boat and how they tie it on, but nobody mentioned the fact that, oh, by the way, in the winter the tide will drop down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 feet. I mean, that's 9 feet, you know. I am 5'11", or at least I was at one point, and as you could probably see from these ropes, you know, when I stand on that platform there, my head does not reach the top. It reaches only a little bit down from the top. If I were to stand on the water level, my head would reach about to where, below that ice there. So 1, 2, that's 12, that's like 13 feet, man. So, now the tide doesn't go all the way up and down the wall. It goes about to the black line, sometimes about a foot above it. But I had no idea I would face such struggle like this. I didn't think I would need those wooden things, and it doesn't seem to be working yet, but I only have one of them. You have to put one in the front too, and then you can supposedly pull the boat over and it'll go over and away from the wall. Right now I have 2 tires, like 5 or 6 bumpers, and a giant piece of styrofoam and some foam stuck under the, you know, and a big piece of rope, and in the hopes that as it rubs up and down it will protect the boat. But with this thing under that, like that, we could actually get caught under there. Now this morning the metal cable was pulling the boat up out of the water. We were going down, and the, you know, multi-thousand-pound boat was tilted like this, and that's a real no-no, like I said, because so just as I was about to put on my warm clothes and go outside, then the cable snapped again. Ching, twang, and the boat made a sound when we were cut loose, and now we're rocking back and forth again, calmly to the ocean. Right now we're not banging anything, but the sounds that it makes when it hits the wall and stuff is just really frightening. And so besides finding enough wood. There's pallets stacked, 30 feet high down the railroad tracks there. I just have to wait till there's not people there. And the guy, he comes to work. He comes at like 6 in the morning, and he leaves at like 9 at night. This guy, I don't know what they got him doing, but he's there like almost every day except Sunday. And I don't know. I've never spoken to him because I'm afraid that they'll say, you can't, because he's got a supervisor and they got a supervisor. And I don't know. Anyway, thank you for watching. We're alive. We're struggling to keep warm. Every day is a struggle. To find enough wood, to drag enough wood back here, get it over the fence, store it on the shore. I got it wrapped in plastic. Right now on the shore I have 2.5 pallets and a big stack of slats, enough to last like 2 days, maybe 3 days, and then I have a backup pile, which is in case I can't get any more for some reason. I'm sick, whatever. I have another maybe day or 2 or 3, depending. I don't know anymore because I keep putting stuff in, taking it out. The struggle to keep warm, the struggle to keep warm and safe. And thank you for watching. God bless you all.